everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the space once again. I have a huge favor to ask all of you today to go ahead and share this video, as my main social media account that I've been building for the last 3 years has now been shut down and disabled, and permanently. And I thought that I was protected by speaking about things only in this higher dimensional perspective, in this energy realm. You know, I feel like I'm very not political, really. But this is also really just showing me that they are paying attention to this energy work that we're doing. And many people are reflecting back at me that our ceremony back in day 7 was really powerful. And you know, this just goes to show that when 100 people come together and we really do our self-healing work, you know, these energies of control, they begin to pay attention. And the fact that they have shut my social media account, my Facebook account down today, I actually am pretty happy about it. Beside the fact that I feel like obviously this grief that I've really poured my heart into building this community for the last 3 years, but I feel like, you know, I was prepared. Even this live stream, a lot of you have hopped on to the YouTube channel, but if you wouldn't mind, you can go ahead and share this video on your Facebook pages. And I had lots of awesome messages from my friends who are like, welcome to the cool kids club, you know, people that had been banned from the social media accounts. So all in all, I know that I'm actually quite flattered that they are going after me at this time. And really, I was looking for this, and I mean, I was paying attention because I was just wondering when it was going to happen, right? Like the things that we have been talking about have really been exponentially powerful. And so, again, it has just been a great confirmation of this great work that we're doing together. And so here we are. We're going to keeping on our YouTube channel. So if you wouldn't mind just going and sharing this video, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. So, if you have friends that are in our common community on Facebook, I know that there was like 100 people that were tuning in daily on Facebook, and now they're like, oh no, Z's disappeared. Did she delete her account? And I've been censored. Facebook has booted me from their platform for not complying to their community standards. And I guess that means that their community standards means you cannot tell the truth and you cannot help people with their healing work and you cannot hold a high vibrational energy because that's what we were doing. And apparently this is against their community standards. And so if you have shared friends with us in this community, just please go and share this on your Facebook group and Facebook page so that our friends can find us and know that we're here. Hopefully that people know that to migrate over to the YouTube channel because this has been a YouTube live stream this whole time. It's definitely been a funny experience processing that today. So welcome to the space, and how pertinent and convenient that we're actually talking about self-mastery today. And I definitely feel that this is, having been removed from Facebook is an opportunity today for me to kind of realign my energy, because I did start that account when I was first waking up. And I'm definitely going to be going back to that platform because, there are people on there. The majority of humanity is on there. And, those are the people that we're here to support. Those are the people that we're here to offer this information to. If they're kicking all of us off that platform and that's how we were, reaching the masses, that's really not working in our favor. So I definitely want to talk about all the things that I processed and thought about today, having gone through this experience. I know that lots of people in our community have been getting their pages deleted and censored and all sorts of things over the last little bit. I personally thought that I was protected and I was protecting myself because I, do try to only articulate and speak things in the highest vibration through the energy realms. And, I never talk about politics or any of these things that they've got their ears out for, but it seems like they're beginning to realize that the quantum reality and energy realms, the work that we do is powerful. And I feel like they're beginning to realize that. And so in the last couple of days, I realized even the pretty spiritually oriented channels and accounts were being removed. And personally, it's felt really liberating. I've been going through a period of activation with my guides and with a very dear friend of mine. And he's been saying for a month now that people and things that were not in vibrational resonance were going to start to fall out of my reality. And so far, I literally have witnessed this happen in the form of physical people, in the form of, comfort addictions. But I did not realize that this would also show itself in the form of cutting out an entire social media. So obviously, they can't shut down the Great Awakening. I feel like a big part of this is me realizing that I was investing a lot of my time in social media, even though I, try not to, and that I'm really feeling like this is an opportunity for me to step away from the amount that I've been posting a little bit and just dive even deeper and working in the multidimensional realms. And I definitely feel like I'm going to return to Facebook at some point, but I feel like it's going to be after at least a couple months of realignment, which is really exciting for me. It's like a rebirth experience, and obviously nobody can shut down the Great Awakening because it is God and our collective oneness of the universe that is ordaining this planet to restore as heaven on earth. And so there's nothing that can stop that, literally. I know that sentence comes and goes around a lot, but literally nothing can stop what's coming, not in the disclosure kind of way, but just in the manifestation of divine will. So however it unfolds, and we're going to talk about the most powerful way that that ordinance unfolds. It happens through all of us. It happens through each and every one of us, activating our consciousness, embodying our divine self, going in and healing and restoring all the parts of us that has been wounded and traumatized and distorted by the artificial reality. And honestly, I feel like them shutting my account down is really validating, because what has been the one thing that we've been talking about the most over the last 10 days? It's really been about, healing ourselves and anchoring our highest energies. And, I'm almost certain that this is what caught their attention and what got my channel removed, and so really that's confirmation and showing us that this work, it's powerful. And, there's so much that we can do that is outside of these platforms and outside of just talking about politics and all sorts of things. And so today's conversation, we're talking about self-mastery. This experience today has been a really great opportunity for me to practice that self-mastery, because I'm going to be honest with you, this afternoon I received probably the most intense psychic attack I've ever experienced in my whole life. And at this point, I'm pretty well versed in sensing, psychic energy coming towards me. And I can pretty easily kind of hold my field. But some of you know that I came out with a video a month ago where I publicly was talking about an agent of disinfo. And at that time, I experienced, a certain level of psychic attack. But what I experienced today was beyond anything I've ever experienced. And, I definitely was taking my own advice and just being like, okay, like, where's my hold? Because I was feeling my body, my heart was racing. I've never felt so just almost like I was being electrocuted, and I could feel my head was buzzing and my heart was racing and I could barely move my body. And I could feel that there was a hole in the back of my neck right here and a hole in my solar plexus. And so I turned that energy inwards and, primal screamed a couple times and just realized actually how far I've come, because, I really felt this energy was coming from either some sort of technology or from highly trained telepaths whose jobs are to stop and to destroy and to, stunt people like me and the work that we're doing. And the thing is that I just realized that these people ain't got shit. Like, if they're spending their time sending these raunchy energies at the most loving, beautiful people on the planet, they really don't got shit. And so I basically just was like, what? That's all you got? Like, that's all you got? Seriously. Like, okay. I mean, whatever then. So, I'm taking this opportunity as one where I am now going to have just so much more freedom to really continue to master my craft, because we all know that this is a very spiritual war. And even I won't name this person, but his campaign slogan was the battle for the soul of humanity or something. I can't remember what it was exactly, but that was literally his tagline. And when I first saw that, I was like, they're not even being subtle. And that's totally what it is. This is a battle over the ownership of souls, over humanity. And we all know that nobody can own a sovereign, divine energy, essence. Nobody owns God. Nobody owns our soul. And so the most important thing that we can do is completely embody that level of truth, of freedom in our own energy bodies. And the way that I've experienced this, I want to talk about energetic sovereignty. What does that even mean? So we were talking about being autonomous. We are an autonomous being. So when we are in energetic sovereignty, it means that we have a certain awareness of our own energy body and awareness of our own expression and how we choose to move and exist and express ourselves in every now moment. And so that means, in every situation, we're never reacting from a place of programming or from a place of patterns, and that we're always existing in a state of authenticity. And authenticity is basically just the presence of your self, of your true self, of your higher self, of your soul self. And this presence is a presence of patience and love and excitement and happiness and peace and joy. And sometimes that presence, if it's in reaction to something that is terrible, that reaction could also be anger and distress. But in those moments, how we choose to express and process our emotions is what gives a person, or what shows a person where they are at in their personal mastery or their energetic sovereignty. That is to say, nothing external to you can trigger you or trick you into acting or being in a certain way, right? So sometimes these energies come in and they really want to, make you attack other people, or they want to make you scream or cry or be in a state of emotional distress. And if we have been working on our energetic sovereignty, then it's a moment when we can just literally be like, and we know that nothing that we do not allow inside of our field can exist there. And I feel like that this is really a practice then when we're engaging with the physical reality right now, right? If we ever watch TV or go outside, there's going to be all sorts of things that want us to be in a certain energy, that wants to get a reaction out of us, that wants us to be in a certain experience that is, let's say, or negatively oriented, like stress. Charlie, please don't kill my plant. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to save my peace lily plant from my dog. Anyway, I'm getting really hot right now. I know that there is like a strong energy because this has really fired me up. I mean, I feel so happy and excited and just like passionate and lit up from this experience that it's really shifting a lot of timelines in a positive way, meaning, I could have responded to the situation where I was like, oh no, because in the past I would have been really distraught because actually, I have been running my business on Facebook, and this was my livelihood for 3 years, is how I was communicating with my community and how I was actually, finding clients and sharing my medicine. And so that was my main platform of my business. But actually, I was totally guided to be prepared earlier in September when I actually started this year-long school and shifted most of my community onto my private website. So I know that I was protected for this experience. But also, I realized that late last night, I was literally receiving like the highest level downloads that this vessel has. Just so many things were coming together, realizing all the different things that I was going to establish and build and create and manifest on this planet. And it's just so hilarious that I feel that they've responded to this pulse. It's like when we align with an intent, and that intent comes in through our vessel in such a way where like, I know that that's going to happen beyond, our insecurity and our doubt. When we're not doubting ourselves and confused and questioning ourself and just, being insecure in any kind of way, because I'm sure many of us have had visions about our future, visions about the greatness that we're going to create in this world, visions of the healing centers and uplifting humanity, all of these different things that, we want to do. But then as soon as those visions hit our solar plexus, the self-doubt comes in, right? We start to question ourselves. Am I making all this up? Who am I to say that I'm going to do all this great stuff? Who am I even to get to believe that I'm great? So when that vision hits a solar plexus that is empowered, when you know your power and know you're a creator being and know why it is that you have incarnated on earth at this time, when those visions come in and meet your solar plexus and meet your human self in that place, it's game over. because they know that that is when those timelines and those creations are actually really going to come into fruition, because you know that those things are going to happen. And so last night I was lying in bed. I was so excited. I could barely sleep. And all of these amazing visions were just coming through about these beautiful schools and healing centers and communities and galactic stations of intergalactic communication and literal star beings landing on this planet in places that the frequencies of those places actually allow. And so when those visions came in and it clicked in me and I felt this strength, and this is new. I mean, I know you guys think that, like, because I'm speaking about these things publicly, that, you know, obviously I have gotten to a certain level of embodiment and a certain level of empowerment, but there's still so much for me to embody, right? I'm turning 27 years old, and clearly my center's not built yet. All the books that I'm wanting to write, they're not created yet. And so there's still a lot more for me to do. And so last night, when this energy came in and it hit my human self, and this part of me responded without any doubt, without any question, without any wondering if something outside of myself was going to give me more information about it. It was just like, I know that this is why I'm here on the planet, and I know that I am going to make this happen. And so when that happened, I know that it sent out a shock wave into this planet. I know that shockwave was a timeline that was going to be anchored in this world where we have heaven on earth. And so I believe that the false matrix responded to that ripple. And I take it as extreme flattery. I mean, their little chess move of deleting my Facebook page will do no thing in stopping those visions from coming true, because I have already stepped in to this energy of creator manifestation. And it's like, if they're responding to it with fear, they're threatened by this vibration. And so I'm just radiating this energy out, this fire in my belly today, to let you know that the most scary thing in the world to them is you embodying your creator power. And in order for you to access that, there needs to be a part of you that self-regulates. And this is where self-mastery comes in, where you have to understand that there is a spiritual war happening on this planet. And as what's his face will say, what is the slogan that he has? A battle for the soul of humanity, is that it? A soul of the nation? His name that I shall not name. What? I'm like sweating. This energy is so fire right now. I ready? There you go. There you go. Thank you, Cassandra. Ain't no joke, right? And so once again, this vibration, we realize that there's literally nothing more important in your life than to fight for your life, fight for your freedom. And it's not a fight that you do externally, but one that you apply on a moment-to-moment basis in your body, in your waking awareness, where every moment you are fighting to become more aware, more embodied, more present with your own source divinity, more present with your power as a divine creator, sovereign being, right? No more of this, oh, I don't know if I'm powerful, like God has shown me these visions, but I don't know. Did he really choose me? Did God really choose? Oh no, she made the wrong decision. That can't be me. So it ain't about any presidents. This is about you, right? This is about you being a creator being and you taking responsibility for that creatorhood every second, every minute. Because every minute that you give away that creatorship, every minute that you think something else is going to create the world for you, you're literally giving away the soul of humanity. And we do have that power. We do it by choosing the timeline and choosing the vibration that we are in. And so, I'm just so excited because this is the moment. I mean, this day has catalyzed just me recognizing how powerful we are. And there's literally no part of me that is upset about what's happened. And all I can say is that I am proud of myself. I'm super proud of myself for having committed to my process and committed to my self-healing and committed to my devotion to all of creation, to be responsible for this creation. And we all have that responsibility. We all have that responsibility to ourselves. And if we want to say that we are a warrior of life, we're a warrior of the light and truth and freedom, this is the way we need to go. We need to embody that creatorhood inside of our body. And if you have been wanting to create a healing center, if you have been wanting to write a book, if you've been wanting to create something that will significantly impact humanity, just know that we are ground crew. The earth and humanity were like, please, aliens, come save us. And you came. Here we are. Aliens have landed on the planet. That is us. We're here to save the planet or whatever. So it's so funny that there has just been so many programs, right, that are like, oh, this person, this group, this military, this timeline, this person's going to save the planet, this solar flash. And it's like, no, we are literally the aliens that came in response to the clarion call. And that means you have everything that you need inside of you to create what you need. You know, I've had so many people come into my reality, actually not so many, two people come into my reality in the last couple of years that were like, Z, I'm going to give you $1 million. I want you to build this healing center. And in the end, you know, they couldn't participate in that way because I've told this story before, is that everything that we're creating, it's an alchemical process. We actually are getting so much out of being here. I mean, each and every one of our souls that came here right now to be of service in this way, we are getting to evolve on a soul level exponentially. Never been seen in the whole universe how extraordinary this level of soul growth can occur in such a short amount of time on a blip of a planet, right? The amount of growth and evolution your soul can experience on this planet is extraordinary. Extraordinary. And so that is why we're here. It's not because we're stuck here. It's not because there's something that's bigger than us and is trying to enslave us. It's not because, you know, humans needed saving, even though, you know, that was something that perked our ears up. The main thing that got our attention was purely the amount of growth and embodiment and mastery our souls were going to get out of this. I like to put that at the forefront because this negates any part of our ego that believes we're going to go save people. You know, oh my God, I'm so great. I'm here to save a planet or whatever. It just negates any part of my body to always just stay aware of that humility that, you know, it's a great honor to be here. It's a great amount of gold that we are about to earn on a soul level, on a soul evolution basis. And so with that being said, if we get to the end of our life here and we have not focused on that self-mastery, we'll have kind of missed the greatest thing that we could have experienced here. And so when the last person came in and was like, I want to give you $1 million to build your center, I was actually really disappointed. I have to be honest. I was really disappointed because, you know, my whole life has been this exploration of how cosmic energy can create in the physical. And to me, this is really the true meaning of Christ, is how the benevolent cosmic consciousness energies comes into material physicality. That is the definition of a Christed energy to me. And so in order for me to experience this Christed embodiment, I need to experience creation. I need to experience being open as a channel and directing cosmic energy into actions that impact this physical reality. That is what my soul is learning. That is what my soul is gaining out of this experience. As for somebody to just come and give me $1 million, I feel like I would miss out on the entire process of creating $1 million of energy, which is a process that is extremely pleasurable and fun to me. So this is really a code that's coming in for any of you with a little hole or weakness in the root, sacral, and solar plexus, where it's like, oh, I don't have the money to, I can't do that. You know, I've seen these visions, but I'm not powerful enough. I can't do that. I don't have the resources. Well, you know what? You are a divine creator being, and you can fire that energy up. If you don't have what you want in your life right now, all you have to do is align your energy. I know that sounds, ridiculous and even outlandish if you just woke up and you're like, the only real things that exist is the third dimension. But the truth is, everything, this whole reality is vibrational. Even scientists know that when you really go into the tiniest pixels of reality, there's just empty space, actually. There's more empty space than there is actual matter, even though you feel like you're physical. And so that tells us that we are a holographic consciousness experiencing ourselves as physical. And so that means ultimately consciousness and energy is the basis of reality. And so that means that everything is energy, and that's how we can reclaim our power as creator beings. This is the key because, I'm not really saying, oh, it's your fault that you don't have what you want. I'm more saying you have the power to create what you want. You have the power to create those visions. You don't have to wait for your aliens to come to give you money. You don't have to wait for your retirement. You don't have to wait for other people to find you, to join you. You can begin to align your energy to this frequency of divine creatorship anytime. And in my opinion, is the most important thing that we need to prioritize. Every single person needs to prioritize this one and only thing. And I understand that there might be other things you need to do, like work at your job, but make it your first thing, right? The first thing you do when you wake up, align to your creator energy. Maybe it takes you 1 minute. Maybe it takes you 10. Maybe it takes you 3 hours. Whatever it is, do it, right? It's not just for you. It's for all of humanity. It's for this planet. And if you and your personality wants to be a warrior, wants to be, a light worker, then access the divine masculine part of yourself and do the work. There's just no more time for bullshit. There's also no more time for fake spirituality. This is a time when everybody is shown exactly where they are. And that is really good because honestly, right? I was getting hammered by these attacks today and I was just feeling crazy. And I was like, oh, I still got these holes in my body. I know that there's one behind my head and one in my solar plexus. And I know that these beings are so afraid. They're so afraid of us. I have received downloads myself about mass arrests that happen. But I've also seen that we are working on the post-disclosure timelines, right? Personally, I'm already on the post-disclosure timeline because the way that I anchor timelines is by being on them. So let me give you an example. If I want full disclosure to come out, I'm just going to live in the reality as if that is happening or it has already happened. So how I do that is just saying, okay, say full disclosure happened. The next thing is that people are still going to need to heal. They're still going to need support. They're still going to need to understand what techniques and tools they can use to actually restore their multidimensional template. I mean, just because full disclosure happens and now all of a sudden everybody knows that our government is run by reptilians doesn't mean that, we're done. The full disclosure actually has happened back in 2017 for me because I saw that the entity, fallen angel that was keeping this false matrix, he was enforcing the false matrix. He was actually removed from the planet. I witnessed that happen in ceremony, and I witnessed these giant Egyptian fish head gods literally portal him out of this dimension. So because I have witnessed that, I already knew that the false matrix was going to crumble. I did not know if it was going to take 10 years or 2 years or 50 years. It didn't matter. To me, I already knew that that system was falling apart, and that however long it takes is in the highest timeline that is filled with the most amount of peace and most amount of love. And if that means it takes 50 years so that everybody can wake up in a smooth and pleasant manner, 50 years it is, right? I don't want people to be stressed and in chaos. And so it doesn't even matter how it unfolds in the 3D unless you're directly involved. If you are a soul that has chosen to incarnate into a body where you're actually going out and arresting those people, then it would matter to you. But for the most part, our lives are not in the physical directly connected to that. And so if you wanted to be connected to those parts of the service, you need to align with your higher self anyway, because without aligning to the higher self, you're not creating the highest timeline. So you could just be creating a timeline that ends up hurting yourself, or worse, hurting others. And so when I say post-disclosure timeline, I think, oh, okay, so say full disclosure happened, people still need multidimensional healing. So let me focus on creating technologies that will support mass awakening, right? So imagine all the people woke up and we, the light workers, didn't even have our shit together. We don't even know the tools they can use for interdimensional healing. We don't even know what DNA activation healing looks like. We don't even know how to support the humans in their process. Big issue. So a lot of people want full disclosure, but they haven't thought about, what is going to happen afterwards and if we're not ready. And so I believe that actually everyone eventually will wake up because we're restoring this planet. And I know that some people think that there's going to be a different planet that people are going to go to. But the thing is that this experiment of reptilian control is just over. It's no longer allowed in the universe. And so people think that we're ascending out of the physical, but it's that we're ascending in consciousness to exist as God in the physical, in this planet. And, some people will die. Some people will die because their bodies are just beyond repair, and that's okay. And because some people's bodies are beyond repair, they will actually heal in an astral hospital that we have set up. A lot of us grid workers, we've been working really hard building all sorts of healing centers in the astral plane. And it'll be a lot easier for some people to actually leave their physical vessel and restore their soul. And then they probably are going to choose to leave the planet for a vacation. And they could come back. They could incarnate. There'll be freedom. They can do whatever they want, right? There will not be another planet that's created where the reptilians can control that one. It would make absolutely no sense, because think about it. Then we would all have to go over there. And so here's the thing. Don't worry too much about your family, because you can't force people to wake up. But the thing is that when you're prepared, like the longer that, sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the chat bar here. I can't close it, so. Okay. The longer that the false matrix kind of stands, it's actually a little bit better because you have time to align. Because I'm not seeing a lot of people that are fully embodied in your creator power, right? We're still like, I don't know who I am. I don't know how to do this. I think that I'm getting psychically attacked. And if we're like that, we're not going to be in a vibration that's going to be able to hold that freaking solid space for people when the mass awakening really happens, right? So we're really given the time and the grace to actually focus. 2021, I feel like, is a year where if you haven't been doing your homework, you still have time to catch up. And if you're saying that, you want to be this crazy light worker, you want to be there for your family, you want to be a truther, then embody the vibration of truth. The truth is that you are a divine creator being. And if you embody that vibration, if enough of us embody that vibration, then the planet will be ready. It's like we need to embody that level of truth and freedom before the rest of humanity can wake up. That's just the soul contract. We agreed to do that, right? So if the whole planet wakes up before we're ready, then we're kind of going to be in for a chaotic and shitty mess. And we don't want a shitty mess. So again, the only way that we can accelerate the timeline is for us to embody our divine creatorship. And I'm speaking to the parts of you that are hiding, the parts of you that are scared, the parts of you that has been procrastinating for 20 years. It's time. It's fucking time to get your shit together so we can be done with this false matrix that is hurting our children, right? It's hurting our children and doing ridiculous things to us, and even the innocence of ourself, the innocence of our mind are being raped and distorted by mind control. Like, that is something that's happened. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to reiterate it 80 billion times. We don't need to watch 50 documentaries about it. That stuff is confirmed. We have been fucked by the false matrix. It's time to restore our divine blueprint. And so I'm really just transmitting a frequency because that's just kind of the state of consciousness that I am in right now, is that there's no more time for fucking around. You know, for years, I avoided my own destiny. And even until yesterday, I was still doing it. I'm going to be honest. It's like my destiny is not to be here talking to 100 people on YouTube, right? And so even yesterday, I was still avoiding my own destiny. I know it. And the moment that I chose to snap out of it and to realize that I am a divine creator being, that I did come here, I can do this. The moment that I decided and felt that ripple through my body, the false matrix retaliated in the weakest move that it had. So it's time to stop making excuses. Things like, oh, I grew up in the false matrix and, you know, my parents weren't nice to me and they hurt me and I was just traumatized. There's no time for doubt. Every moment that you're doubting yourself, there's a child that's out there that's calling for you, that you came here to help, that you came here to rescue. So maybe every time that you question yourself, just think about why it is that you're here and why it is that you responded. Because the truth is that our higher self does not sign us up for missions that we're not qualified to fulfill. In fact, you're probably overqualified for the job that you're doing because we just wanted to make sure, right? So you're like actually 300 times more powerful than what you're actually destined to fulfill on this planet. Just think about that for a second. And so I'm really saying all these things as a reflection because I'm sure we've all had those times when we're like, what do you mean I'm here on a mission to ascend a whole planet and it matters on a whole universal level? If every single person on this call right now embodies our creatorhood, it would be game over. I'm not even in my highest capacity. I would say I'm probably at 20% at my peak capacity. And, you know, our healings are pretty potent. We have written one book. We have created several courses. But when we are fully activated, there is just so much we can do, right? We literally create within seconds the resources that we need because our energy is just so on fleek and aligned. So I'm all fire because I am literally burning up right now. I'm sweating. I rarely ever swear. But I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm tired of this plastic world that we have. We can have so much fun on this planet. We can have so much fun. We can be dancing and creating beautiful temples and communicating with all different galactic and elemental realms of all the mystical beings that live there. We can become one of the most beautiful exchange centers in the galaxy. That is what this planet is destined to become. And it all begins with you beginning to believe in yourself. Yeah. Let's party, Earth people. I'm excited. Really, really excited. What do they say? It's darkest right before the dawn. I'd say we're about there. I'm just getting like waves and waves of heat. This energy is really intense. It's just like, and you know, they say that your DNA needs heat to mutate. And so when you're receiving DNA activation, sometimes you can get really hot. Feels good. I mean, it didn't feel good to constantly run away from myself. There was a part of me that really questioned, you know, how can I be that powerful? It's not even possible. How can these visions be shown to me? I think maybe God got the wrong mailing address. But everything that you're dreaming of, that you're passionate about, you are that part of the oneness that is bringing light to those things that you're seeing in the world that are so unjust. And as far as, you know, politics, the solution to politics is actually, again, the embodiment of soul level sovereignty in your own vessel. Divine sovereign creator beings that are divine. We don't need to be governed, right? It's really hot. And honestly, it's so funny because when I'm being psychic attacked, I notice, like, you guys noticed there was literally like no troll energy in our chat box like this whole week. And today I literally got like 4 troll emails. It always happens. Like every time that something is beaming attack energies or psychic attack energies, like reality responds to it. And it's like and that even is just a weakness in my aura that's allowing that to happen. So fascinating. Anyway, we did amazing work this week. I'm just so grateful that you've all shown up. I see a lot of people that were here pretty much for the whole journey. And I'm just so grateful to all of you because the amount of light that we were able to anchor over this last it was truly incredible, and I'm just so honored that we got to do that together. And this is only the beginning. We're only going to continue to do this in greater and greater levels over the next decades. So we're going to be partying in 50 years and just being like, man, remember that time in 2021? And we all thought the world was so fucked, but we didn't know that literally the dawn was right after that. Whew. Yep. Honestly, I feel like I'm probably going to end the live streams today. It feels pretty completing, but I will keep doing these live streams once a week. Honestly, my throat is pretty tired. You could hear it when I'm singing. It's like, ah. So I'm going to continue to do this once a week. I haven't decided what weekday or when I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to. And for those of you that want to be in community, let's see how we can stay in touch. So please go and sign up for my mailing list, because I'm going to be opening up a community space in the coming year. It's going to be this amazing university with just the most incredible teachers that I have found over the years that are pretty hidden, but are just the true gems of true ascension vibrations. And I'm probably going to launch that, in the fall. But please go on my website and just connect with me. Follow my join my mailing list. I send out like one email per month if I get to it, because I really don't like to spam people with emails. I really only send out emails when I have to communicate with you, like if I'm doing, a class or a free event, which I do a lot of. And so here's my website. Just go ahead and join the mailing list just in case, if this platform goes down. Really would love to continue to share these vibrations, because I'm just ready for us all to experience the inheritance of joy and creativity and power and sovereignty. I'm just so excited for us to all be in that place, and we're just all sharing in that abundance and that power so we can uplift this planet together. And so, let's see what's going to happen. And with that being said, I love you all so, so much. Let's see what happens next. Bye for now.